Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. I'm honestly so pumped you're joining me today because we are doing something, well, entirely different. Usually we take these massive data sets or dense multi-page research articles and distill them down into clear, understandable concepts. But today, we're totally flipping the script. We are busting out our digital magnifying glasses to do a forensic deconstruction of what might literally be the smallest, most hyper-minimalist synthetic audio artifact out there. We're going to look at a single, microscopic fragment of data and uncover the massive amount of context hiding right beneath its surface. All right, let's jump straight in and look at exactly what we're dealing with today.
So here it is. This is the entire source text for today's explainer. The document reads exactly like this. Excerpts from 11 Labs _ 2026-06-15 T 18:39:38 _ Spuds Oxley Wise and Approachable _ 11 _ V3.mp3. And right below that massive file name, we get the actual transcript of the audio excerpt itself, which is literally just the letter H followed by a period. That is the whole thing. Now, the really wild part about this is the profound imbalance between the packaging and the product, right? You've got this incredibly detailed, highly specific file name acting as a wrapper for a single, solitary letter. To understand why this is actually fascinating, we need to completely unpack that wrapper.
Because look, a file name is almost never just a file name. In the world of synthetic media, it's essentially a comprehensive forensic ledger. If we systematically deconstruct that dense string of text, we actually extract 7 distinct pieces of metadata. We can see the platform responsible for the generation is 11 Labs. We get a highly precise date and time. We get the specific persona being invoked, Spuds Oxley, along with the exact behavioral traits assigned to him, wise and approachable. We even see the underlying technical architecture, which is the 11 _ V3 engine. And finally, the output format, an MP3. All of this shows that a massive amount of intentional, highly specific instruction was fed into this system. The sheer density of this metadata points to an advanced user, or maybe an automated pipeline, carefully dialing in a synthetic generation right down to its exact mood and technical format.
Let's zoom in on that timestamp for a second, because it really anchors our understanding of this event. This wasn't some random glitch floating around in the digital ether. It happened at a very specific moment in human history, the year 2026. The month of June, the 15th day, and the exact second, 18 hours, 39 minutes, and 38 seconds, so just before 6:40 p.m. Treating this with the forensic seriousness it deserves, we have to recognize that at that exact fraction of a second, a computational request was made and fulfilled. Someone, or some automated system, hit generate right at that exact moment, spinning up servers and firing off complex neural pathways. And beyond exactly when it happened, we also know exactly how it was built. We're looking at a deployment of the 11 Labs V3 engine architecture. Now, this implies a highly sophisticated, advanced iteration of synthetic audio generation. It's capable of immense nuance, way beyond those clunky robotic text-to-speech voices from a decade ago. We also know it was rendered into a standard compressed MP3 audio format, and it used a specific named voice model, Spuds Oxley. All of this tells us that significant computational resources, we're talking advanced neural networks, deep learning models, rendering engines, they were all spun up and activated just for this specific generation task.
But here is where the story gets super intriguing. The prompt didn't just ask for the voice of Spuds Oxley. It specifically commanded the engine to modulate that voice using 2 distinct emotional parameters, wise and approachable. Just think about what that actually entails. The user wasn't looking for a robotic script reading. They were asking the AI to synthesize human warmth. They wanted it to project an aura of lived experience, patience, and friendly accessibility. When you feed a system parameters like wise and approachable, you're expecting an output that offers a gentle piece of advice, a warm greeting, or maybe a comforting thought. You are literally expecting a human connection, simulated by a machine. And that brings us to the structural irony of this entire artifact. It is just such a profound contrast. On one side, you have this deep human intention. You have these highly tuned, sophisticated prompt parameters requesting Spuds Oxley imbued with wisdom and approachability, all processed through a state-of-the-art V3 engine on a June evening. And on the other side, you have the stark, minimalist reality of the actual audio output. A single letter, H, followed by a period. All of that incredibly complex technological orchestration, all of that nuanced emotional prompting, resulted in the absolute shortest possible vocalization. It is literally a stunning anticlimax. A towering mountain of data giving birth to a single, solitary keystroke of an output. It really demands a deliberate, measured pause in our analysis, doesn't it? When you look at this single, isolated letter, you really have to ask yourself, what does it actually sound like? Is it just a sharp intake of breath before speaking? Is it an abrupt, truncated attempt to say hello? Did this hyper-advanced V3 engine process the demand to be wise and approachable and somehow decide that a single knowing exhale was the most profound response possible? Or, and let's be real here, are we just looking at a microscopic digital glitch, a system timeout, a canceled generation, a momentary hiccup in the neural network right at the 38th second of that minute? This stark little letter is the whole focal point of our analysis today because it represents the exact boundary where human prompting collides with unpredictable machine execution. So, what does this all mean? What does this isolated one-letter transcript actually tell us about that exact digital generation event on June 15th, 2026? Ultimately, it serves as a fascinating reminder that no matter how advanced our engine architectures get, and no matter how precisely we try to define the emotional parameters of our synthetic personas, the output is never entirely in our control. Sometimes you ask for a wise and approachable voice, and you get a profound monologue. And sometimes you just get an abrupt, solitary H. So what do you think triggered this microscopic fragment? Was it a technical failure or just a bizarre algorithmic anomaly? It's definitely something to ponder the next time you interact with an advanced AI. Thanks so much for exploring this digital mystery with me today on The Explainer. Keep questioning the details, and we'll see you next time.